Hi, people. In the midst of the flu, India is battling a surge of mucormycosis, black fungus. Let's see why. India grapples with a deadly second wave. A new threat is emerging, a rare infection called black fungus. I'm sorry, but doesn't this sound like we're back in the dark ages, when I'm having visuals of cobbled roads, like cobbled streets, and I don't know, housing, where in the morning they get the piss pot and they launch the piss out the fucking window. I mean, this is the type of thing that comes to my head when I hear words like black fungus, okay? I mean, we know that a lot of the slum areas in India aren't definitely the cleanest places in the world, but those people must have a hell of an immune system. And I was talking about this yesterday to somebody. I mean, when you stop and look at the conditions that a lot of these people live in, you'd kind of think that they'd constantly be sick, and yet they're not, which means that they have a hell of an immune system, right? But sadly, humanity has to screw over humanity. Where are we? Key points. It's an infection caused by fungi found in the soil. And listen to this one. People who have had severe flu are given drugs to dampen their immune response, which makes them more at risk. Those with a compromised immune system or diabetes are also at risk. So here we have people with an awesome friggin' immune system, considering they live in that kind of environment every day. But along comes humanity and says, no, you got to take this because of this, and therefore we'll kill off your immune system. So now you have this. So yeah, listen, I have no faith, no hope in humanity whatsoever. Okay, none, nada. Because when you watch this every frigging day, it makes no sense to me. None of it makes any frigging sense to me. Okay. The fungus is found in soil and in decaying vegetation. The infection affects the sinuses, brain, lungs, skin, and kidneys. Symptoms depends on where in the body the fungi is growing. Most commonly, patients present with a blocked nose and sinus pain, but they often also get a headache and fever. Sometimes they can actually lose sight if the eye socket becomes infected. Infection can spread to the brain, causing seizures, coma, and comprehension difficulties. And there's a picture of the said little sucker. I'm looking down here. It's not that I don't have anything to say. I've got a shitload to say about fucking everything. It's just sometimes it just gets to a point where, you know, it goes back to the same thing. You just got to keep on. It's a repeat. Usually, the kind of patients we would see the infection in are patients who have had transplants or that sort of thing, where they are on very strong medication to turn their immune system down. Do you hear that? To turn their immune system down. Wouldn't that apply to statin drugs? I mean, isn't that what they do? They turn people's immune system down so they've got nothing left to fight infection with. I mean, the last year and a half, 2 years, wouldn't have that been the case in a lot of the elderly? But anyway, it goes on to telling you more about the fungus and all the rest of it. But at the end of the day, to me, the most important part of all of this is the fact that if these people weren't given medication for something else, they would not now have this black fungus. Black fungus. People who had severe COVID are given drugs to dampen their immune response, which makes them more at risk. This is not something that I've made up. This is there. This is by doctors. University of Queensland. You know, it's not me making this stuff up. It's people screwing over people, as far as I can say. Has been for ages. Make a change, folks. Make a change.